Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jolene and I'm the author of the Glory MC series as well as the Moonrise Beach series. I'm super excited about this video because I'm going to be setting up my 2022 Hobonichi cousin. So if you guys don't know, I have been using a Hobonichi cousin all year round. This is actually my cousin for this year. Currently I have it in a KKK notebook cover. I do have the full year here and it does close still, so that's great. But I am going to be using a Hobonichi brand cover for next year. And as you guys can see, my Hobonichi is getting quite a bit chunky. I do sticker up the weeklies, but not really the dailies too much. So I am going to be showing you how I'm going to be using this planner, and I'm going to be using a lot of the same techniques and printables that I sell in my shop, Jolene Printables, in my Hobonichi to kind of customize it. So I will go through all that and show you how you guys can customize your Hobonichi as well. But this is the full year, and for 2022, I have moved into the Avec. So the Avec just means that the year is split into two. So as you guys can see here, this is the first book, January to June, and then you do have an accompanying book for the rest of the year, July to December. And while I do like having the whole year in one book, I think it's great if you would like to pre-plan, which is what I'm using this planner for. It's a pre-planner for work, my job as an author. But I do find it quite heavy, and I don't find myself referring back to the daily pages as much as I thought I would. So now that I know that, I am moving into an Avec, and hopefully that will lighten up my load and it won't be so chunky or heavy. And also that means that I can decorate it a lot more if I want to. I don't know if I will. I think I'll still be using stickers in my weeklies, but I just find that decorating the dailies too much. I just don't have the time for it. So since this is going to be a work planner, I want to keep it pretty minimal. But I have kind of set things up a little bit here off camera so that this video isn't, 10 million years long. So I have put down my tabs and a few of the printables already, as well as some decorative bits, and then I also pulled out some other things that I know I want to use that kind of go with the color scheme or theme, or just things that I know that I'm going to need when I'm in this work planner. So the cover that I have chosen for the first half of the year is the Marshmallow cover. So I actually got this year from the Hobonichi online store. So if you guys missed my haul, I did get some other covers with it. Definitely check that out. I actually have two videos, part 1 and part 2 are up on my channel, so I will link it up here for you guys to check out. But if you guys followed me a couple of years ago, I actually ordered this when it first came out, but I think they ran out of stock, and so they actually canceled it from my order, and so I wasn't able to get it. But I just love this cover. I love the kind of pink lilac tone on the exterior. This is like my favorite color. And then I love the interior. It's like a taupey gray color, so very neutral. For work, I like to keep my planner covers very neutral. I like a lot of light colors or calming colors, and I tend to go for like the plainer covers because it's for work. I don't want too many eyes on what I have going on, but I am going to be putting a cover on cover on mine. I always put a cover on cover on my covers, and this is the stripes. So it's just the simple one. I believe this was a cover that came out last year. So I just got it for the A5 size, and I think that this kind of combo looks really good together. So I am going to pop it in here. So the pocket configuration is my favorite in these types of covers from Hobonichi. I just like that you get the two pen loops. You can use this to either house two different pens, or you can put one pen and kind of loop it through both so you can keep your planner closed. You do have a secretarial pocket here, one here. You have several straight pockets, a curved pocket, or what they call a smile pocket, and then you have these two smaller ones here, which I tend to put either die cuts or like a a paper clip or something like that. You have your two bookmarks here. So one is a little triangle and then one is a rectangle. So you're able to tell which is which. And then you have the small pocket with the kanji written inside and then another pocket here. So I love these covers. I think that they're so functional, and the ones with this kind of material, I find that they wear down the best. So if you happen to use watercolor or fountain pen like I do in your Hobonichis, this holds up really well. I find that with some of the fabric ones or even like the Mina Perhonens, they don't stand the test of time as well as just the more simpler, more cheaper options that they have in the store. So that's just my experience from buying covers over the course of several years. I'm super excited to move into this one, and as you guys can see, I chose colors that kind of match it. But I'm going to show you what customizations I've done to my Hobonichi. So let's move this off to the side for now, and I will show you what I've done to kind of customize it and make this a little bit more personalized. So what I've done is I've actually made some vinyl. So these are some rose gold vinyls that I made. This is actually C. Amy Draw's handwriting, and I cut it out on my silhouette. So I did like a moon phase and then the word thrive. Thrive is going to be one of my words of the year, so I thought it would be nice to kind of have that right there at the top, and I just stuck it down directly on the page here, so that it's like front and center, and it adds a little bit of that kind of like foiled look. So that is what I've done there. And then here over the year at a glance, I've actually put down my printables. So if you guys are not familiar, I do have an Etsy shop called Jolene Printables, and I sell ring-bound planner inserts as well as Hobonichi printables. So these are full page stickers that you can get. They are already sized for the Hobonichi Cousin. I also have them for the weeks as well as the A6 original size. So as you guys can see, that they are made to fit within the pages of the Hobonichi perfectly. Do have a nice moon face border around it, and that's the whole theme of this year for 2022. The design is all moon phase, which I love because it kind of goes with my theme here. And I have two fonts available in my shop. This here is the classic font. So this is kind of like my more minimal font. This is the simple font. And then I do also have like a more cutesy font, and that one is called the sassy font. So you can choose between the two options, whether you're a minimal planner or maybe a more decorative one, or you just like the kawaii or cute look. I have different styles in the shop, so feel free to browse. And then I also have two colorways in the shop. So this is the pink version. I also have a gray version. So I think I do have a few in here already. So this is the gray version, as you guys can see. So a little bit more minimal in style, not as vibrant and bright. So you guys can choose between those options. So like I said, I just put these down on the year at a glance, and I am using sticker paper. So I printed the printables on sticker paper, and I actually just trimmed it down using a paper trimmer. I think there's a misunderstanding that you need a sticker machine to cut these printables. You don't. You just need either a paper trimmer or even just a pair of scissors if you can cut straight around, because it's just the four sides. You can just cut them down yourself. Or if you don't even have sticker paper, all you have to do is just print it out on your regular paper, and you can use a glue stick to glue it down or adhesive tape. There's many different options. You can even just tip it in if you want to. So this is the year on 2 pages, and then I also have a version that has the year on 1 page, but this one has January to June on one side and July to December on the other. I have a Monday start here, but I also have a Sunday start in the shop, and I just like this view. I found that I don't really use the past year and then the future log all too much. So I just like this more cleaner look, and I just use these translucent dot stickers to mark down the events that I know are already happening. So this is the calendar for 2022. if you guys are watching this in 2021 still, I do have the 2021 designs in my shop, and they are going to be retiring at the end of December. So if you guys are interested in these printables, you guys can use the code SAVE10 to save 10% off of your order. But the calendars and some of the designs that I have in my shop will be retiring. So if you guys are interested in last year's design, then you guys can pick it up now. But the 2022 ones are already in the shop. So I have that, and then here, this is the Perpetual or vertical calendar. I just use a kit from Ariebea shop. I do have a discount code for you, and that is AnnaJolene10, but I just use that to cover up the Japanese there, so it's easier for me to read personally. And then I put some Paper K washi down here at the bottom. I do have a referral link to Paper K, so I will leave that down below. So I just did that for the whole entire year, and I think it looks really clean and just simple. And I'll show you how I've been using it, because here I have been using it as a tracker for my Facebook posts on my author page. So I post every single day, and so I have just been keeping track of all that in here, and I just love how it turns out. At the top here, I have been keeping track of anniversaries. My book releases will all go up here, and then I also keep track of the promotional events that I have for my books as well. And then over here I write down the events that I take part in that are hosted by other people. So I just love this layout. I think it's so functional, and I love how it looks. So that is how I'm going to be using it again next year. So this will be the exact same thing. I'm going to be using it the same way. So that is that. And then we are moving into the monthlies, and all I've done is just added the date covers here at the top, or rather the day covers. And these are from Ariebea shop once again. And then I also added these black tabs. So these are also from her shop. You guys can use my code AnnaJolene10, and that's all I've done for this page. I just want to keep it very, very simple. And then once we are into January, I just put a little bit of Simply Gilded washi on every single page. So this is the passport washi, and I just use it to block off the days that are not included in the month. And that is the only deco that I'm going to be using here. The only other thing that I added is I just added the months here. These stickers are from Ariebea shop as well. And then they just say the month. And again, washi. So that is all that I'm going to be doing here in the monthlies in terms of decoration. So this is how I've been using it for this year. I just use these box stickers from Ariebea shop to mark down the important events, and I really like that look. I will also use the translucent dot stickers to mark down certain things as well. So I'm going to be using this the exact same way in here, and what I like to do is keep a sticky note on each page here just to write down unconfirmed dates, and then once they are confirmed, I will put them in the boxes here so that I know that these are set in stone. So I do have these translucent sticky notes from Rose Colored Days. These are her collab with Annie Plans. They have the silver hollow on them. I do have a referral link to Rose Colored Days, so I will leave the link if you guys are interested in them. But I also have these ones here with the tabs and the purple. I think it's just so pretty. So these are the gray ones, and then I also have the marbled ones. So what I like to do is, for pre-planning purposes, I will just add one to each monthly spread, and that way as the events kind of pop up, I can write them down in here, and then once they are kind of confirmed and all that kind of stuff, then I can mark them down directly on the boxes, and that just saves a little space for me so that I'm not constantly, crossing things out in case they don't end up happening. So I have just added a few, and I like to alternate the sticky notes so that I'm using all of my designs, because I do have quite a lot of sticky notes. I want to make sure that I'm using them all. So I'm just going to pop those all down there just for some prep. And then we go straight into the weeklies. So the weeklies in the Hobonichi Cousin are very simple. They are vertical. You do have a sidebar here, and then they are hourly. So I do have plan with me's on how I've been using these this year. So I will leave the playlist up here if you guys are interested. But I will show you my current one. So this is how I've been using my weeks right now. So this is an example of how I like to decorate it. So what I will do is I will section off the bottom of the page here, and this is what I use to mark down my to-dos for my job as an author assistant. So I have tasks that I like to do every day or bi-weekly or things like that. So I will mark that down here. Anything up here has to do with my stuff. So that includes my shop, my printable shop, and Jolene Printables, my job as an author. I am a romance author, and then YouTube as well. So that goes all in this section. Because I do work for other romance authors and I'm a romance author myself, the task can kind of get jumbled up. So I like to split up the page so that I don't get confused with my to-dos and other people's to-dos. So I will typically write my to-dos in like a checklist or like this, just so that I know that this is mine and this is theirs. On the sidebar, I like to keep track of my weekly to-dos or my weekly focus or tasks that I haven't quite allotted to a certain day, but I know I wanted to get done this week. Over here, I have been keeping track of the books that I am reading. So I am a professional book reviewer, and so I do receive advance rated copies of books before the general public for review purposes. So when I have a book that is coming out soon, I make sure to write it down here so that I can read it this week and write the review. So that is how I've been using my weeklies, and sometimes I will use vertical kits like this one. I just shrink down these stickers so that they fit within the columns of the Hobonichi. These are all printable kits, so I like to do that sometimes. But I do have a flip through of this Hobonichi already, so feel free to check that out. I will link it up here, but I'm going to be doing the exact same thing in these weekly pages. Next up, after that, we do have the grid page here. This is the turning the page to a new year, and all I've done here is just added my mood board or like my vision board for the year. So I just have some images that I find inspiring or that relate to my book that I am releasing this year. So I'm releasing the last 2 books in my MOONRISE beach series, and so that's why you see a lot of beach scenes here. I do also have some like self-care reminders and quotes and things like that. So these are just images that I just find inspiring. They're also my kind of colors, so I just use a little bit of Simply Gilded washi. This is the Sakura washi, and then in the background you guys can see that I did some watercoloring just there just to add a little bit of extra colors. So I like to do this with every single one of my Hobonichis, so whether that's my work planner, this one, or my journals. And then we move on to the daily pages. So this is another one of my printables. This is the simple font here with the pink colorway, and this is my this month printable. So what I've done here is I've actually put it on the page that's the kind of cover page or title page before the daily pages. So I stuck that down here using sticker paper, and what I've done is I've just added the month here at the top. These stickers are from Prince Petticoat Bandit, and on this printable here you have a this month here, so that's where you write the month. You have a to-do list, you have a notes section, and then you have these 4 boxes, and these are blank. So they just have a nice grid to them, and then you do have a checklist on this side. But I have added these stickers myself. These are from Ariebea's shop. I think I have the rest of the year here. So these are her 52-week stickers. So I have just put them down for the first half of the year. And what I want to do is I want to break up the weeks so that I have enough space to write down my events, my important dates for each month, so that I have it at a glance here. So I really like this idea because previously in the past, I was just writing them down kind of like this. I would have my important dates here and then my goals. So this is nice to have because I can have them in chronological order, but the problem with this was that if something was unconfirmed and then I kind of just added it in after, then the dates were not in order, and that kind of bugged me. And so I found a way around it by using this printable. So now that I have the weeks written down, I can just look at the calendar. What's nice about the calendar here is that you do already have the weeks listed here on the side, so I will just write down exactly what's going on. And so that means that even if something gets confirmed very last minute, then I still have the space here to add it, and it's still in the chronological order, unlike this one. So I really like that. And then for my goals, this is my goals for each month that I want to make sure that I'm completing every single month. I am going to put them in my to-dos. And then here in the notes section, I'm going to write down the projects that I'm working on. So for me, that is books. So what book I'm working on and what stage of the writing process or publication process I am in that month. So that is how I'm going to be using this. I will be doing Plan With Me's on my daily pages. So if you guys want to see this in action, then do subscribe and make sure that you follow so that you'll get notified of when that video goes up. But then you do have all the daily pages. Again, I did the same thing for every single month, so I just changed it up. So this is the gray colorway, but it's the exact same inserts, the classic more minimal font, which is the simple font this year. And again, I put the month there, and then I just put down the stickers. And again, I already started putting down some events that I know are happening. So I have that for every single month. This is March. And then I have April here. This is the cute font or the sassy font for 2022. So again, you guys can find these printables in my shop. And don't forget to use the code SAVE10 to save 10% off of your order. And then here I have May, and then I have June here at the back, again using the stickers to create the division. So that is how I'm going to be using the dailies. And then at the very back here, I do have my kind of routines listed out here on the grid paper that you have at the very back. So I have here my AM routine, my PM routine, my daily routine, my bi-weekly routine, my weekly routine, and then my monthly. I have just written it all out so that I have it all here if I want to see it. And then I just added some PaperEchos vertical washi there. It's a coffee theme one with rose gold, so I really like that. And I think this will be helpful just to reference and glance at every time I am doing my routines every month or weekly or daily and things like that. So I just have some more grid here at the back. And then starting on the Japanese paper that I don't tend to use, some of them I do use, but to make it a little bit more functional for me, I have used the printables for my shop once again. So this is another printable that I printed out on sticker paper and stuck down. So this is the yearly calendar on 2 pages. I do have a version that has the yearly on 1 page only, but this one I'm going to keep track of the reoccurring monthly events. So this goes from January to December. As you guys can see, this is the pink format with the sassy font, and I do have it in the gray and also in the simple font, but I'm going to be using this the exact same way as last year. So let me show you. So I just have my reoccurring monthly events here. This one is for shop and this is for personal, and I just check it off every single month. So I'm going to be doing the exact same thing here this month, but I am going to add some work events in here as well, just so that I have it handy. And then here I do have my important dates insert. This is the list format, again with the pink colorway in the sassy font, and I do have a version that's the whole year on 1 page, but I like to have it spread out on 2, so you can find both versions in my shop. And here I've been keeping track of birthdays, anniversaries, things that don't really change year to year, so I like to have this here just kind of as a reference. And so I've already started to write things down. So I have my book releases, you know, like my website renewal, my shop anniversary, birthdays, that kind of stuff listed down here. And then I am going to be utilizing the My 100 page. I am going to be using this to keep track of the books read in 2022. So I actually did that already for this year, and I really like how it turned out. So this is what it looks like, kind of filled out. And then I do have a grid here. So I did the same thing. I put the grid printable from my shop in here. I do also have a lined version. Again, you can get it in the pink or the gray colorway. And I'm just going to list down the books that I have read in 2022 because I am a professional book reviewer, and so I do tend to read a lot. I will usually typically go over the 100 mark, so I like to keep this grid page here so that I can continue my list onto here. And then over here, I do have the one-page version of the insert that I just showed you here. So this is the two-page version, and this is the yearly calendar that's on the one page, so you get a ton more room. So you'll have to turn it this way to see it. But again, you have the January to December. Again, this is in the cute font, and I also have it in the simple, and then you can have your reoccurring monthly tasks here. So I'm going to be using this to keep track of PR. I do PR for a lot of different shops, and so I am just going to keep track of what I do each month for them in here. So I'll just put down the shops here and track it that way. So this is the grid printable in the gray colorway, so you guys can see the difference in the two colorways there. And then I do have more of the paper here at the back that I can cover with my printables if I wish to. So that is how I've set up my Hobonichi cousin and kind of customize it with the printables in my shop. Once again, you guys can use the code SAVE10 to save 10% off of the printables in my shop. If you guys have any questions about the printables or my setup here, you guys can leave them down below. I also have flip throughs and plan with me's that I've done for 2021. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I've used this planner in the past, then go check out those videos. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop my cousin into the cover, and I like to put both covers in just so that I can see the deco that I have in here. So I'm just gonna pop it in here. So there we go, and I typically like to have one in the weeklies and then the other in the dailies. So I'm gonna put the bookmarks in for now. And then let's start to set up the front section here. So I have brought in a few items that I want to use in this planner. I like to use these sticky note tabs to tab the top of the pages in case there are things I need to come back and reference. So this is some sticky notes from Mizutama and Coco Fusion. So I got this from Amazon Japan. So I like to keep those in there. And then I have a sticker sampler. They have some icons there that I can use as full box and a checklist. This is from Simply Gilded. I do have a referral link to Simply Gilded. Speaking of Simply Gilded, I do have some washi cards from Simply Gilded, and all of these washis are from Simply Gilded as well. I'm using one as a washi card, and then the other one here I actually use to put down my page flags. I do have like a task card system. I do have them in my monthlies right now, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So I do have these little page flags. I have written down some events that are reoccurring for me, and since I am using them right now, they are in the planner, but typically I will just put them down on here and then keep them in my pocket so that whenever it is time to schedule in those events, I have them handy. So that is there for now. And then I do have a lot of these PR samplers. These are my PR samplers for PaperEchos. So I have a few of them, and they're my favorite characters, so I want to keep those on hand. And then I also have these planner stickers, again from PaperEchos. I will leave any PR codes and referral links that I have down below for you guys if you guys are interested in them. But I'm going to keep that in there. And then I also have this adorable washi magnet from Simply Gilded, and I want to keep it over here. So I just have a little magnet here, and I'm going to tuck it in the pocket, and then I'm just going to attach the magnet to it so it actually stays put. really nicely without moving around too much. So that is all I've done. And then I always have an ollie clip in my Hobonichi. I usually have two, so it keeps my pages together. And this one is a really gorgeous sparkly one. I just love how it sparkles and shines. So I'm going to use that. And then I do have a couple of die cuts and note pages. So this one is just a reminder of a few things. So it says things to stop doing: overthinking, fearing change, comparing myself, trying to please others. And then it does say buying more planners, but it's crossed out there. If you guys know me, then you know that I buy a ton of planners. So that's one of the things I'm working on, but we'll see how it goes next year. And then I just have a checklist and then some memo paper that I want to use. So I'm just going to clip that here at the front here so that I can see it and obviously use it. I do also have this Simply Gilded journaling card that I thought about putting here, but I think I'm just going to add it in the pocket to add a little bit of color. And then I have a bunch of stickers that I want to use in here. So I have these stickers from Sticker Fever that I've had for literally years and I never use them all. So I feel like I would use them better if I have them close to me. So I'm going to keep them in this Simply Gilded pouch. This came in a sub box and it's really sturdy, has some gorgeous hollow on it. So I am actually just going to pop the stickers in here so that I have them handy, and then pop them into the cover, and that way they are kind of protected, because I find that if I leave them without a cover or folder or something like that, the pages and stickers do curl. I do also have this smaller A6 one. I did get this in my Hobonichi haul, so if you guys missed it, you guys can check it out. But I do have some smaller stickers. So I have the date stickers that I had in my monthlies. I have some extra tab stickers and the divider labels from Ariebea shop. So I am just going to pop those in the Omiya folders. This set comes with a set of 3, I believe. So you get a pink one, a blue one, and a yellow. So I just have the pink one here. And I am going to pop that at the back here so that I have those handy. I do have a pencil board. This is from Simply Gilded's free range box. I just love it. It's a little bit more narrow than the Hobonichi brand ones. So I actually quite like that because I can kind of move it where I need it. So I am going to pop that here at the back as well. And then I do have some KikK B6 note paper here. These are just off of a B6 notepad, and I like to keep this in here in case there's some notes that I want to put in my rings. So I will just punch these and then pop them in my rings so that I can transfer information very easily. And then since I have these gorgeous sticky notes from Rose Colored Days, I am going to pop a few in here, and I like that they kind of stick out from the side like that, so you can write on the side but still have the tabs sticking out. So I love that, and I like the colors. I think it matches really nicely with the spread. I'm going to be using my Pentel Energel Clena. This is in, I think, the 0.5. Yeah, so this is just the pink one. So that is what I'm going to be using here. And then I also use a Tombow quite often, and my Kokoira pen. So this is just the lilac one. This is in the color 620. So I will leave that in here, and then the Kokoira pen I typically have in my pen case, so I like to keep that in there. But that is my setup for 2022 for my work planner. I think it's going to be really functional for me. I just love how neutral and light this whole entire setup is, because I just don't like to be distracted very much. So I think this is going to be working really well for me. I'm excited to use the Avec this time so that I can use more stickers but also keep it very functional. So that is my setup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, then leave them down below. Once again, if you guys are interested in the printables that you see here, then feel free to use my code SAVE10 to save 10% off of your order. I do have a bunch of different sizes, designs, and different note pages, trackers, and calendars in my shop, so feel free to browse them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!